from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Comcast Sportsnet brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's the finale of the homestand. The Astros meeting the Minnesota Twins. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Alan Ashby. We've seen the Twins win 10-6, and then last night in 12 innings, 9-6. So the Astros revving up some offense, but just falling a little bit short, and they're 1-5 on this homestand, Ash.
Brandon Barnes tried to give him a chance to win the second game here in the series. A huge home run in the ninth inning with a couple of outs and a couple of strikes on him. Brandon Barnes had himself a night.
Boy, he did. He's, in fact, been all over the highlights all season long, not only with his catches, but with the offense late in games. A sixth-round pick in 05, and all those years in the minors from 05 through last year. He made his debut last year at age 25, and this is his first full season in the majors. Made that opening day lineup, recruited out of high school as a football player, but turned back to baseball in junior college, and he made it the hard way by his bootstraps, and now look at him flying all over Major League outfields.
I think he's a defensive safety back there roaming around and covering everybody in the world. He has made so many great catches. Defensively, I don't think we've seen anybody any better. That catch might have been the best of the bunch as he was shielded on the play in Detroit. He came up with a huge catch to salvage a win for the Astros. That was a big one. Final out of the ballgame offensively. Game winner back in May against the Colorado Rockies. A double, and he was the big celebration guy. He has picked up a cycle along the way. This was the double that rounded out the cycle, and a great night. And then last night, opposite field again, 2-out, 2-strike home run, a 3-run job to tie the ball game, and extra innings we went.
So improbable, but of such things dreams are made. Julia Morales has more coming up as the Astros minor league clubs swing into playoff action. That means Mike Fultonevich going for Corpus Christi, Asher Wojciechowski for AAA Oklahoma City. We'll have more with Julia in just a moment.
Final day of the homestand here at Minute Maid Park. Astros Twins closing out a 3-game series in a very exciting time for the Astros farm system. 6 minor league clubs advancing to the postseason. It's the first time since 2003 that an organization has had that many teams postseason bound. and Astros general manager Jeff Luhnow very excited. He took to Twitter a couple of days ago talking about his teams. It's our AT&T tweet of the game. It says all 4 full season teams finished the regular season on Monday. 82 wins for OKC, 83 wins for Corpus, 82 wins for Lancaster, 81 wins for Quad Cities. Impressive. Several clubs setting franchise records this year with wins. Short season teams are going too. Here's a look at the teams going to the playoffs and when the postseason begins for them. AAA Oklahoma City, Corpus Christi, and Quad Cities get started today. High A Lancaster starts this Saturday. Tri-City, which is short season A-ball, they clinched a playoff spot last night. Greenville, the rookie ball, they came back to win last night and advance to the Appalachian League Finals, the best of 3 series. All right, let's take a quick look at who will take the mound today for AAA Oklahoma City and AA Corpus Christi. 2 guys who have put together some excellent seasons. Righty Asher Wojciechowski's 11-8 this season. Astros getting him in the J-Happ trade. And then game 1 starter for the Hooks, Mike Boltonevich. He started the year in Lancaster. He's been at Corpus since. 2.87 ERA. Astros drafting him in the first round of the 2010 draft. Now, several guys in this Astros clubhouse were a big part of those AA and AAA teams for the Astros. One including Mark Krause, who was just recalled today. He said he was a part of that strong finish for the AAA Oklahoma City Redhawks finish. And then when they clinched, he said it was just a lot of fun down there. They're a very talented ball club all the way around. He hopes to see them win the entire thing. Him and Marwin Gonzalez, who was also on that team, they will be following along very closely, watching their teammates make that playoff run. All right, stay with us. Jordan Lyles on the mound tonight. Astros and Twins closing out a 3-game series. We'll have first pitch and lineups for you next.
Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. It's day baseball on Getaway Day for these 2 clubs. And the Astros, who will be heading for Oakland, facing the Minnesota Twins for the final time this season. The Twins have won all 5 games in the season series. Here's their starting lineup for Ron Gardenhire today. With their 61-76 record, they go with Alex Presley in center field, Darren Mastriani in left, Brian Dozier at second base, Ryan Domitz, the DH, batting 4th. He's followed by Trevor Plouffe, who's had an amazing series. He's at third base with Oswaldo Arcia in right field, Chris Colabello at first base, Chris Herman the catcher, Pedro Floribone the shortstop.
22-year-old right-hander Jordan Lyles on the hill, 6-7, 5.12 the ERA, beaten by Seattle last time out, allowed a couple of home runs, including a solo job in the first inning, while allowing just 3 runs over 6 innings.
Alex Presley runs up on that one and takes strike 1. Andy Fletcher's the home plate umpire. Alex Presley in this series has 2 hits. He had both of those in last night's game. Drove in a run. Alex just joined the Twins in the trade for Justin Morneau, coming from AAA to the big leagues. That pitch inside, and Lyles has a 1-1 count. Twins have gone 17-10 on the road since the 13th of July. Lyles is low with that one. It's a 2-ball 1-strike count. As Jordan shoots for win number 7 of the season, tries to square his record. He faces the Twins for the first time in his career. That slap to shortstop, and there's a diving effort by Villar, but on through into left field for a leadoff single for Presley.
Defensively for Houston this afternoon. Behind the plate, getting his first start now with the Astros, Matt Pagnozzi around the infield. Chris Carter, Jose Altuve, Jonathan Villar. You just saw in the diving effort, and Brett Wallace gets a second straight start at third base. In the outfield, Brandon Barnes in center, flanked by L.J. Hosen right, and Trevor Crowe in left once again.
There's Pagnozzi behind the dish. He just joined the Astros yesterday, acquired in a deal from the Atlanta Braves. He was with their AAA Gwinnett team. Was headed home to Arizona when he got the call to divert and go to Houston. There's Mastriani taking a look at ball 1, showing bunt with a .250 batting average. Mastriani has 4 hits and 4 runs batted in this series. .250 for the Twins period of time he has spent. He's been in the minor leagues as well. Wallace is in tight at third. Mastriani has a strike on him, and it's a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Here's the ball hit to VR, and certainly a very tough play. But great players sometimes will come up with these very tough plays. And I mentioned Brownie that I keep waiting to see a great play out of VR with his tremendous tools. Just hasn't happened yet.
Comebacker Lyles throwing over the base. There's VR flashing across and then firing to first. Well, that might be one, as it's a 1-6-3 double play. That throw led him, and he really had to get there in a hurry and then make sure he got his foot on the base, and then he went down on the throw. Ash,
you're right about all of it, and yet I would say of Jordan Lyles, he did exactly the right thing. A little bit of a high throw, but throw it over the bag. Trust your infielder. Don't try to lead him. Just put it there. I think trying to take a little off right there to ensure that VR got there. But when it's all said and done, nice play on both ends, and that's tough landing on your hip like that.
He got dumped by Presley and goes back to his position now after the double play, the 152nd for the Astros. And it brings up Brian Dozier. With 17 homers, he has a new Twins club record for a second baseman. And he looks at ball 1 from Lyles with 60 runs batted in. Dozier hitting .245. He's on a 4-game hitting streak, 6 for 18. Lyles missing there, falls behind, 2 balls, no strikes. This Twins club has really hit the pace offensively with 29 hits and 19 runs in the first 2 games of this series. 2 balls and a strike. And the Twins have scored 540 runs. That's 4 more than the Astros for the season, so they've been struggling, but in this series they've had a heyday of it. Fly ball out to shallow center field. Altuve gets back. VR calls him off. And in the first, it's no runs, a hit, nobody left. Jordan Lyles puts up a 0. Looking a little differently. We got a new player up from AAA, Mark Krause. Jonathan Villar leads off today at shortstop. It's Jose Altuve at second base. Trevor Crowe in left field. Brett Wallace at third base. Matt Dominguez still ill. Chris Carter is the first baseman with Mark Krause, the DH. Brandon Barnes at center. AT HOU's in right. Matt Pagnazzi, another new player, the catcher.
On the mound, 24-year-old right-hander Liam Hendricks. He's 1-2, 5.13 the ERA. Picked up a win against the Texas Rangers, and Yu Darvish, his last time out, 6 innings of 1 earned run ball, just 5 hits allowed to the Rangers in that one in 97 pitches. 6th start now on the season for Liam Hendricks.
You know, that was something that jumped out at people, the way he pitched against Darvish, who's been so good. He was just recalled from AAA Rochester August 24th. His numbers there were not glowing. 4 wins, 8 losses, a 4.67 ERA and 16 starts. In his career in the big leagues, he's 2-12. And it's Jonathan Villar leading it off. Villar takes it. There's strike one to Jonathan, a .266 hitter. No homers, 3 runs batted in. He's 2 for 3 in this series. Came out of the game last night for trying to stretch a single into a double, down 4-1 in the 4th inning. And Bo Porter had a little talk with him when he came out of the game and said, you need to look at the scoreboard before you make those decisions. And here he is back in the starting lineup and leading off and fouling it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Something Bo had been told a long time ago, but Villar thought maybe he could catch center fielder Alex Presley napping, and Presley got it into the shortstop, who relayed it on to the second baseman. What's going on with that shoe, Ash? 2
Trying
balls,
to
2
figure out
strikes.
exactly what was going on as well. So Villar apparently got spiked. You see things kind of torn up on the outside toward the toes a bit on the shoe.
Okay. Fouls it away, or swings and misses, and strikes out. That's out number 1 for Liam Hendricks.
Defensively for the Minnesota Twins here this afternoon, Chris Herman behind the dish. Around the infield, Chris Colabello. He's become a star here in the series. Brian Dozier, Pedro Florimon, and Trevor Plouffe. In the outfield, it's Alex Presley in center, flanked by Oswaldo Arcia and Darren Mastriani.
Now with 1 out, the 24-year-old Hendricks from Perth, Australia, works to Jose Altuve and delivers. Their strike one. Altuve at .272 with 4 homers, has 43 runs batted in. He's come alive in this series, 4 for 10, and on this homestand he's 9 for 26 for a .346 average. Fouls that one back. Hendricks does not have the big effective breaking ball to combat good right-handed hitters, so right-handed batters have feasted on him to the tune of a .298 batting average. He's given up 6 home runs in 26 2/3 innings this year. That's out into center field, and a looping single in front of Presley. Altuve continues to have a nice homestand.
5th hit here in the series after that 4-hit opener against the Minnesota Twins. He's been trying to get this bat going here again in recent games.
Oh, this season against Twins pitching, he's 7 for 20. He's aboard for Trevor Crowe. Trevor is on a 5-game hitting streak of his own, 7 for 17. He's 3 for 9 in this series, 5 for 13 on the homestand since rejoining the Astros from AAA Oklahoma City, where he was building up arm strength in his right shoulder. Chop to second base. There's a backhanded flip by Dozier, and it's dropped at second by Pedro Florimon. He tried a long backhanded flip, and Florimon, with pressure from Altuve, failed to hold it. It's an error on Florimon, his 13th on the shortstop.
That was a long backhanded flip, but a very good one. And they were likely only going to get one here anyway, but that's a dicey backhanded flip from that distance. Again, plenty good enough.
That gives the Astros an opening with Florimone dropping that flip from Dozier. And now 2 men on, 1 out. Brett Wallace gets the opportunity. At 223, he has 12 homers. He's driven in 30. Wallace 0 for 3 in this series. And there's ball 1 to Wally, playing third for the second straight game. Matt Dominguez has not been feeling good at all. So Wallace stepped in last night at third. He was on twice and scored twice with a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. Big swing there, makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Brett Wallace. First time Hendricks has faced the Astros. He's thrown his fastball 73% of the time this year. Chris Carter's on deck. Wallace looks at it for ball 2. The Twins are going back home for a 10-game homestand. They have had a very nice trip through Texas. Ron Gardenhire's club winning 2 of 3 from the first place Rangers in the American League West in Arlington, and then coming here and winning the first 2 here. 6-time AL Central champion. He's been manager of the year in the American League. Some feel he should have been named to that honor more than once. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Gardenhire on the last year of his contract. Twins are 61 and 76 in a rebuilding mode right now. They'll go back home to meet Toronto in a 3-game series, then 1 game against the Angels, 3 against Oakland, 3 against Tampa Bay. Difficult homestand coming up for the Twins. Wallace shoots 1 foul. Brett, in his last 27 starts, has hit 7 homers and driven in 13 runs. The Astros will be going to Oakland for 4 and then Seattle for 3 on their road trip. Coming back home then to play the Angels and Cincinnati Reds on the next homestand. Tomorrow night it's Brad Peacock and Sonny Gray in Oakland. Another foul ball, so that's going to be a playoff type atmosphere perhaps, although Monday night or Thursday night rather during the school week, maybe not such a big crowd in Oakland, but the people who are there, you and Blummer should witness a pretty frenzied bit of support for the Oakland Athletics right now as they try to overtake Texas. They're 1 game behind the Rangers.
Last time the Astros met up with Sonny Gray, he was all sunny for Oakland fans. He was tremendous.
There's a stop by Herman. Good play. And it's 3-2 to keep Altuve at second and Crow at first. Bill Mauer on the disabled list with a concussion. Herman getting his chance. How about the youngster last night, Josmiel Pinto? He was fantastic for the Twins. He had 4 hits and a walk in his second major league start. Wallace again fouls it.
Yeah, I'm confused as to why Pinto is not back in there. And somebody's going to say day game after night game. Come on. This stage of things, young kid, swinging the bat that well. Big surprise for me. Yeah, he looks like he could be a very good one.
Well, these two did pair on their last start, Herman and Hendricks, in that fine game at Texas, so perhaps that's a reason. There's a line shot over shortstop. Altuve broke back to the bag. He'll still score easily to make it 1-0 Houston. And coming on his heels, here's Crow with a stop sign at third. 1-0 on an RBI double by Wallace, who rocked that one to left center. His 12th double and 31st run batted in for Brett Wallace.
When you take batting practice, a lot of the time you'll just say on pitches out, away from you, that you'll try to drive it to the other gap. And that's exactly what Brett Wallace does here.
Turn that announcer down.
Yeah, I couldn't compete with that very Very strong sounding announcer.
Get that guy out of there. You know, but he was fouling balls off to the left side, Ash, and he seemed to have that approach.
He did. He did, and a good one at that.
There's Carter, the batter. Pretty good looking pitch, but it's ball one to Carter. 217 for Chris. 27 bombs, 73 runs batted in. The team leader in both of those departments. Chris 3 for 9 with a homer in this series. And the slider is outside. Herman making a good play on it as it veered away from him to his right. Carter homered in the second inning last night. Astros have scored 6 runs in each of the first 2 games. They got 13 hits Monday night and 10 more last night. And yet they've lost both of these. Carter takes it, and it's 3 balls, no strikes to Chris. Chris with the 27 homers has hit 10 of those at home with a 161 batting average at Minute Maid Park. It's 3-1 now. So green lighting on the 3-0 pitch. He swung at Hendricks' offering, which was right over the outside edge. Carter's 3 for 17 on this homestand. Now 3-2 as Hendricks has come back to a full count.
A couple of well-placed fastballs. Chris Carter tends to strike out mostly from the outside fastball. You see breaking balls also figure in and usually working away, but some of the guys will try to come in on his hands as well. There have been times when right through the heart of the plate will also get Chris. He is more about what he's doing at the time.
Fouls that one back.
When Chris is swinging it well, he's handled all pitches, but a lot of the time just about anything flipped up there can get him.
This will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Liam Hendricks. Hendricks had 16 starts with the Twins last year. He was 1-8 with a 5.59 ERA. And that one is ball 4. Carter works the walk to load the bases for Mark Krause. Krause just joined the Astros from AAA Oklahoma City.
They go right to that fastball away. Hendricks maybe just misses at the knees off the outside edge.
Bases loaded, 1 out. The Astros 0 for 11 in their last 11 at bats with the bases loaded. Krause at 169. Hoping to do some damage here against Ron Gardenhire's Twins. He has 3 homers as an Astro. He's driven in 10. And the Astros hitting just .244 with the bases loaded this year. Brandon Barnes is on deck. Krause just promoted today from Oklahoma City with the injury to Robbie Grossman. There's strike 1. Robbie was taken out of the game during an at-bat last night as a strained right oblique. And he's day-to-day. Krause the last 10 games was ripping it for the Red Hawks. They open the playoffs tonight. He's all excited about what that club has been doing, but also pumped to be here. Astros have put out some emergency calls for new players the last couple of days. Crow at third, Wallace at second, Carter at first. Getting Pagnozzi and Krause for back-to-back games and adding them to their roster. In tight to Mark, and it's 2 balls and a strike. This is Krause's second stint. He came up the 20th of June for the first time and went back to Oklahoma City August 18th. This is his 17th start with the Astros. He started 8 times in right field, 8 times in left. Hits this one in the air, and the third baseman Plouffe comes over toward the Twins bench, but it's out of play. It's a high 5-pitch count inning for Hendricks.
The word is on that last start for Hendricks when he beat the Texas Rangers and Yu Darvish that he was anything but sharp. And yet when it was all said and done, 1 earned in 6 innings.
Twins last night started Pedro Hernandez. He went 6 innings and gave up 2 runs. Andrew Albers, their starter Monday night, lasted an inning and 2/3. Anthony Swarzak really rescued their bullpen with 4 1/3 of relief that day. And the pitch is high for a ball. It's 3-2 again. Hendricks right up against it. It's been 3-2 on the last 3 hitters. Both managers really going hard to the bullpen last night. Let's rock up the right field line. It's hooking and it's foul. Hard hit ball by Krause. He never dropped the bat. He seemed to know that was not a fair ball.
Just crushing the baseball, though. That's what it looks like. But as a hitter, you've seen it so many times, you know that hook is going to take over and it's ultimately going to be foul. Is it a foul pole or a fair pole?
We could debate that.
I don't think there's any debate.
That's a shot into right field. That'll score Crow to make it 2-0. Stop sign for Wallace. RBI single for Krause. Krause gets his 11th run batted in, and the bases are loaded for Brandon Barnes.
Yeah, if you're going to get called up and then be in the lineup, you might as well rake, and that's what Krause does here. His barrel to baseball, and you can see it right through the heart of the plate. Take advantage when you get that chance.
Now there's a team meeting at the mound. Everybody's there for the Twins. Big group with pitching coach Rick Anderson. And he's probably saying something like, hey, for the good of all these guys, get out of this inning, please. You do not want to go to the bullpen in the first inning. No, he wouldn't say that.
No, it wouldn't go like that. Or maybe not too many times anyway. Are you aware that today is a getaway day?
Well, it's a rough start for Hendricks. He's only down 2-0. Brandon Barnes comes up with a 4-game hitting streak. 245 average. He hit his 7th homer last night. He's driven in 36. Bases loaded, 1 out for Barnes. That's strike 1 to Brandon. He took it right down to what could have been the end of the game last night. Came up in the 9th inning with 2 on, 2 outs. The count was 0-2. The Astros trailed 6-3, and he hit a 3-run homer to right field to tie it. He drove in 5 in that game with 3 hits last night for Brandon. No balls, 2 strikes. He has had some really memorable games this year.
Ronnie, you talked about the inclination for Hendricks to throw a lot of fastballs, and he has been. But the bats have been right on that pitch as well, and finally he takes something off, gets a swing out in front.
Now 0-2 for Barnes. Barnes has him right where he wants him. He pokes this one to right field. Wallace is tagging at third. Here's Arcia with the catch. Wallace comes home, and the throw to the plate drifts. Here's the tag. Safe at home. And the Astros lead on the sac fly. It's 3-0.
Strong throw from right field, but there was no doubt that a cutoff man would have no part in this throw. Too high, and the other 2 runners move up. You can't do it as an outfielder. You've got to put it through the cutoff man. Watch this ball carry. There's no doubt, but cutoff man is not involved in the play. Even if you're going to let it go through, that illusion that it can be cut will hold other runners. That's a nice job by Brett Wallace. Not easy.
That is run number 3. Now it's LJ Ho's batting. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Strike to Hose. Very good job by Barnes. Behind 0-2 in the count to make some contact, get a run home. 260 for LJ Ho's, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. LJ's 1 for 9 in this series, hitting 200 on the homestand. Fouls it back, and it's an 0-2 count to LJ. Astros sending the 8th man to the plate here in the first inning with Andy Fletcher, Rob Drake, Joe West, and Sam Holbrook on this umpiring crew. Now Nate Lucero, the Astros head athletic trainer, comes out after that foul ball off Andy Fletcher's arm.
I live for the pain.
.37 pitch first inning for Hendricks. Hose with 2 outs and men in scoring position has 3 hits and 13 at bats. Upstairs with that one. Hendricks goes to a 1-2 count. Hendricks signed as a free agent in 2007 with the Twins. Matt Pagnozzi's on deck. It's in the air to right field. Arcia backing on it. Arcia back to the warning track for the catch. And the Astros come away with 3 in the first on 3 hits with an error. They lead it 3-0.
Is Dog Day at Minute Maid Park, brought to you by Purina. Bring your canine companion along to watch the Astros take on the Angels and enjoy a ton of dog-friendly activities. Get your dog's ticket by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/dog.
Does your dog go on a website?
I would love to say yes. I mean, he's the smartest guy in the world. Exactly.
Ryan Doumit leads it off. There's strike 1 to Doumit. DHing today, a .239 hitter with 11 homers, 49 runs batted in for Doumit. And the shift is on for him, putting Altuve in shallow right field. Good movement there to the corner by Jordan Lyles. That puts him in front. No balls, 2 strikes. Doumit, 280 right-handed. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Ryan, formerly with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Twins got him as a free agent after the 2011 season. Doumit was a pinch hitter last night. He drew a walk. And that one goes foul. Still 1-ball, 2 strikes. There's some other day action in Major League Baseball. The Mets lead at Atlanta 5-1. Anybody leading at Atlanta other than the Braves is something of a surprise with their 51 home victories. Lucas Duda hit his 12th homer. In tight to dome it. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now. That Atlanta club is way out in front in the NL East. 15-game lead. Bouncer up the middle. Backhanded. Here's VR off balance. Throw to first, and what a play by Jonathan VR.
Okay, so there you go.
That's it.
Just keep waiting for this guy to have these tools shine enough where you say, yeah, you know, only the special players make this type of play. And plenty of arm to be able to get it done. So here you go. Only the special kind of players make this kind of play.
Well, you had us looking for it, and there it is.
Not exactly what you call the great play, but a really nice play to his right.
Yeah. Trevor Plouffe looks at ball one. He has 14 homers, 45 runs batted in, and a .245 batting average for Plouffe. Against the Astros, he's hitting .777. 2 balls and no strikes. 7 for 9 in this series anyway. Hits it in the air, and the right fielder Hose comes in. Altuve makes the catch about waist high. That's outnumbered. That looked like a Sunday afternoon softball game type catch. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Was that lofty praise on your part, or were you going the other direction?
Well, as long as you make the catch, that's all that matters with nobody on base.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
It wasn't really, to answer your question. Oswaldo Arcia, the batter. Just don't drop it. There is strike one. Arcia at .251 is 10 homers, 32 runs batted in. But then we've seen players down through the years do that all the time, and they make the play. I think the problem is when a guy gets really, really casual and drops the ball, and the batter winds up at second base.
Yeah, you hate to see that, because all the time you watch a guy make casual plays, you're always thinking, you know, one of these days it's going to happen.
Yep. Short toss over to first at 1-2-3 second for Jordan Lyles. He leads at 3-0.
And time for our Geico quote of the day. It's from Hooks pitcher Mike Foltynewicz. We have a lot of young guys that are having success at all the levels. Right now we're trying to get that winning atmosphere going, and it's been happening from AAA down to low A. Folty, a power arm who touches triple digits. He's never been in a playoff game. He will be in a playoff game tonight. He's the starter for the Corpus Christi Hooks as they start the playoffs. 6 teams, 6 minor league teams for the Astros going to the playoffs. I'm joined with Astros GM Jeff Luhnow now, who has to be very, very excited for what the minor league system is doing right now.
It's exciting. I think it's our hard work is paying off. We've traded a lot of major league players over the past couple of years. We've focused a lot on building for the future, and I think we're starting to see the results. 6 teams making the playoffs is really unprecedented. I'm excited. I'm going down to Corpus tonight to watch Folty in his first playoff start, and hopefully we'll have a couple rings to show for it.
A franchise record for the Astros and its minor league teams. And I mentioned it, this is Folty's first playoff game as a pro. Just how important is this for these guys to be in that winning atmosphere and to play in these playoff games at that level?
Well, we expect to be in the playoffs here in the next 5 or so years. And the more we get players up here who have been through that experience of winning together through a long season and competing in the playoffs, the better off we're going to be. We like the guys to come up with a winning attitude, and it starts now.
Who's impressed you recently? All these teams making some strong pushes at the end here and some really great performances. Who stood out to you?
Well, I had a chance to visit all the teams, and there really are good performers on every single team, and that's really what's helping us win as an organization.
And you said you're heading to Corpus tonight. Are you going to try to get around to see some of these guys?
I am. I'll be in Corpus. I'll probably be in Lancaster. Depending upon which teams advance to the second round, I'll be seeing them a little bit too. But it's an exciting time. You know, winning a ring in the minor leagues is not the same as winning in the big leagues, but it's still pretty exciting. And a lot of people go through their entire baseball careers without having that opportunity.
And I know the players are doing a great job, and it also has a lot to do with the staff, the coaches that are around these guys.
It's the scouts, it's the coaches, it's the trainers. It's a big effort. There's a lot of people involved, and it takes years to get to the point where we're at now. We all know the goal is to get these players to the big leagues and have the success up here, but I think this is a strong indication that we're not that far away.
Well, we want to wish you a big congratulations for all the hard work that you've put in, and know you're very proud of this.
Thank you so much, Julia.
All right, Astros GM Jeff Luhnow. Brownie, back up to you.
Thanks, Julia. Jonathan Villar smacked a double to left center field after the Pagnazzi ground out. Now Altuve, as Villar gets a look from the pitcher Hendricks. That was the 7th double for Villar. Very well hit ball. Altuve singled up the middle in the first inning. The Astros have 4 hits already off Hendricks. They scored 3 in the first. Fouled away by Altuve.
Villar also exercised some pretty good judgment here in my assessment as this ball goes to the gap. I like that he's thinking an extra base. He's not just thinking double right here. He's digging and trying to see if he can get 3. And he comes around second base, made a big mistake last night, but with that good turn, then sized it up, headed back to the bag, and very wisely so.
Altuve out to right center field, moves Presley over. Villar tagging. Here's the catch. Villar heading for third base. Presley's throw is wide, and it's out. Number 2. Good base running by Villar.
Look, he's an aggressive player, and that is a great thing, as long as you couple it with good decisions.
He's the third now for Trevor Crowe.
It's a good read right there. That's not a very deep fly ball. Speed is what you have to make this one happen, and recognition of who's throwing.
Now Crowe's given the Astros a lift since being returned to the big league club. Reached on that fielder's choice play in the first inning. Of the 3 runs Bo Porter's club got, 1 was earned in that first inning. Villar dashing up the third base line, and he has stolen home once this year. That's ball 1.
He is daring, he is aggressive, and then some. Yeah, that'll make some people wake up.
12 steals for Jonathan Villar in 18 attempts. He might have caused ball 1 by catching the eye of Hendricks. Bouncer, and the second baseman Dozier backs up. Going on over. It's a 7-pitch second inning. It's no runs, a hit, and a man stranded. It's 3-0 Astros.
offered. In-game live enhances your Astros experience via computer, smartphone, or tablet. Get in-depth stats and join the social buzz. In-game live, only on csnhouston.com. Okay.
Thanks, Julia. We move to inning number 3. The Astros lead at 3-0 here. And it's Chris Colabello leading it off. What a night for Colabello Monday night. 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. Game-winning 9th inning grand slam. Minnesota won it 10-6. 46 pitches for Hendricks, 23 for Lyles. Colabello, quite a story. International League MVP this year. There's ball 1, but at age 29. So a guy who's really worked hard to get to this level and appreciates every single day and all the interviews he does. He's so gracious. There's a strike to make it 1-1.
Again, 7 years of independent ball for Colabello. If you've ever gone and watched an independent ball game, I managed a couple of years of it. It's young players who want it, and they want it badly.
He hits one into left center field, and Colabello has his 5th hit of this series. Now Herman comes up, doing the catching today. Chris Herman, 25 years old, from Tomball, Texas. Has a .225 average, 4 homers, 17 runs batted in. He had just 18 at bats last year with the Twins. He went to the University of Miami. But before that, Alvin Community College. There's ball 1 to Chris Herman. He, in addition to catching, can play the outfield and some first base. He has started 11 games in the outfield this year, has 3 outfield assists. So he's made himself a versatile player. 6th round pick in '09 by the Twins. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. So the Twins are forced to experiment at catcher in the absence of the injured Mauer here in September. They're not sure when Joe Mauer will be back from his concussion or how many games he might play. Meanwhile, they can look at Pinto and Herman. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Jordan Lyles has been clipping along through the first 2. He got a double play ball on Mastriani in the first after the Presley leadoff single. Now he pounds it in to make it 3-1. Twins on the road this year, 133 and lost 40. It's a foul ball, and Lyles comes back for a full count now with Florimone on deck. Boston right-hander Daniel Bard has been claimed off waivers by the Chicago Cubs. Theo Epstein strikes again. Really, Jed Hoyer's the general manager.
But Bard, once upon a time, going back 3 years ago anyway, great arm.
Runner going, and it's ball 4.
Highly regarded young pitcher, a guy that I think a lot of people saw as a closer. It has just unraveled.
Well, Lyles could use another double play ball here. He got one in the first inning on a comebacker. Pedro Florimone comes up as the number 9 hitter with 8 homers, 39 runs batted in. A .224 average for Florimone. Florimone 2 for 9 in this series with 2 runs batted in. He takes that one for ball 1.
Sometimes there's just so much movement. I perceive it to be a 2-seamer that Lyles will throw to the plate, and it'll dip under the knees. It'll run off the outside edge on the left-hand hitters. Just moving all over the place. And my perception, going back to the start of this year when he was early on in the rotation, he was running that 4-seamer at the knees very effectively and consistently.
Matt Pagnazzi, the newcomer, catching Lyles, and Doug Brocail may have gone out with a reminder of what he would like to see on pitch selection here. Astros felt very fortunate to be able to pick up the catcher of Matt Pagnozzi's caliber this time of year. 1-1. It's a time of year when there are not a lot of catchers available. Cody Clark has stepped in and caught a few games. With 2 catchers on the disabled list and a third not available today. 2 balls and a strike. Carlos Corcoran's heading for Corpus Christi, where he's scheduled to be the designated hitter in the Hooks opener tonight. They have a night game. He must be taking a private plane down. In the air, out to left center field. Crow with the catch. And the runners hold on out number 1. I believe Jeff Luno's headed in that direction after the game tonight, so they could be taking that same plane. And it'll be a big playoff crowd for the Hooks. A very nice atmosphere there in Corpus Christi for playoff game number 1 at Whataburger Field. They'll be meeting San Antonio. First game in a best-of-5 series. Oklahoma City's first game tonight against Omaha. That's a best-of-5 series. Alex Presley. And what is the song by Elvis Presley they're playing?
Wish I could tell you.
It's not Don't Be Cruel. Anyway, he's 1 for 1 in this game. There's strike 1 to him.
Are you a big Elvis fan?
Yeah, I liked certain phases of Elvis's career, but not every phase of Elvis's career. How about you?
Yeah, I can't say I ever got hugely into it, but if I sit down and listen to some of the music, I can certainly get my groove on. If I had one, actually. I'll borrow yours.
I thought you were able to find that on US 290 going home last night about midnight after the game.
I had my groove on pretty good at that point, I have to admit.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Not to alert anybody who would be concerned about that.
No. There weren't too many people concerned about that on US 290 about 10 after 12 last night.
That's when you were able to confirm things?
That was pretty much it. It was a smooth ride home. Now, Julia, on the other hand, is a big Beatles fan, but we've not asked her yet about Elvis. What's your opinion of Elvis?
Well, I am not happy down here. Did someone say something bad about Elvis?
No, nobody said anything bad about Elvis.
No, not really bad.
Are you a big Elvis fan?
I'm a big Elvis fan.
Yeah?
I'm a big Beatles fan. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan.
You like all the popular artists.
Well, they're great artists.
They are great artists.
Well,
yeah.
we've got a 50% rating on Michael Jackson up here in the booth.
We have a very divergent group as far as our musical interests.
What is it that you guys listen to?
See, somehow I got accused, I think, in this process of not liking the Beatles. That would not be true.
I think it's the Muzak factor that comes into play, Julia, when, you know, that elevator music. It came along about 30, 40 years ago.
Cuckoo Cuckoo doesn't work in an elevator.
I was just a little disappointed to hear somebody didn't love Elvis. That's all.
Oh, see,
okay.
So you can turn that into a negative. I see how this has all spun out here.
It's a fair comment, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
What is your favorite? What Elvis song should we be absolutely head over heels about?
They were all great.
Yeah.
The Jailhouse Rock, Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog.
Didn't like those.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
Are those like sock hop worthy?
My heart's breaking over here.
I'm sorry.
I think he's got a song that's called My Heart's Breaking over here.
Oh, he has a song. Okay.
I'm kidding.
3 and 2. We have some chocolate milk over here if you'd like to come over. It's very soothing, Julia.
You know his Christmas album.
Yeah, now that's different. Yeah.
Okay.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
You like the Christmas
Yeah.
album. Good. It's one of my favorites.
He was definitely a great entertainer. That's fellow. Now, when Paul McCartney had his concert here last winter, were you here at that point? You weren't over here yet, were you?
Not yet.
You were. That was before you joined our staff.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got to ask for both of you, Lennon or McCartney?
Well, I was waiting for Brownie to go.
Or McCartney?
Vladimir? Oh. We do get confused.
This is not a former Soviet Republic
right.
test either.
All right, McCartney.
I was going to go McCartney,
really?
too.
Really? Because, you know, I'm Lennon.
Is that why you wore a red belt today?
You notice everything. You know that?
Well, who would be...
See, I would have guessed Julia. Well, I guess I would have guessed both of you to be McCartney. That's probably there.
You know, Julia has to be a musical expert because she has to know all this stuff getting ready for Dancing with the Stros.
Well, she's a big dancer anyway, so music is a big part of her life.
That's right. In fact, she's going to be appearing in concert. No, we won't give that away.
Yeah?
I'm down here. What's going on up there?
I don't dance at all, but music is a big part of my life.
Yeah. Ground ball goes foul.
Just not Jailhouse Rock.
No.
I grew up on the oldies.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling you guys old.
Now, here are some guys who know how to get it done, Julia.
Is it appropriate to have your hair perfectly coiffed when you're dancing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
The costume's a big part of it.
Are you still going with Jake Elmore as your dark horse to win Dancing with the Stros?
I really am. I'm watching Altuve. Altuve's got great rhythm.
He does. Yep.
But
good moves.
He's worried that he'll be stuck doing a country type dance or something he's not familiar with.
No, he'll do salsa.
I told him, if you get stuck doing something that you're not good at or comfortable with, just break out in salsa at the end.
Yeah.
Do what you're good at the end.
What do you think Jake will steer toward?
I don't know, but I know he's working on a gimmick. He's really serious about this competition.
I think Altuve was just singing to himself right there.
Steve Bunin is getting ready to co-host with Julia. That's foul. That is the Michael Jackson glove.
How would you know? You hate
yeah, Brownie.
Well, I won't say that. It's not fair.
We're attacking Brownie. Right?
Yeah, a little bit.
You know I don't know anything about those things. Three and 2 with one out on Presley. Colabello at second, Herman at first. Hey, Julia, we were thinking of baseball names last night, and one of those names came to me this morning. Sibby Sisti.
Wow.
Have you heard of that one before?
I have not. I like the Greengrass. What was his first name?
Jim Greengrass.
Just so fitting.
Fitting? How's Greengrass fitting?
How about,
for a baseball player?
Well, from my view over here, I'm looking at Greengrass.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we forgot Rocky Colavito last night.
It's a great name. Rocky Colavito was a coach of mine when I first came up to the Indians. Nice gentleman.
He had a tremendous arm. Good power hitter.
Larry Doby was a part of that staff. Rocky Colavito, Warren Spahn.
Yeah.
How about those for names?
Lou Burdette. Harvey Haddix.
Harvey Haddix was an early coach of mine as well. Fine gentleman. The guy who went 12 innings of perfect baseball. Did he go 12 or did he lose it in the 12th?
He lost it in the 13th.
Yeah.
It's a high shot. This is going to tie the game. That's a 3-run homer by Presley. A 13-pitch at bat, and Presley rocks one for home run number 3. And that thunderclap puts the Twins into a tie, 3-3. Hit 2 home runs in the National League. That's his first as a Twin.
I'm not seeing anything approaching the mid-90s kind of fastball today from Jordan Lyles. And I think if he pitches at this velocity, struggles with command, has to come in, and he'll find himself in trouble.
The Twins have been bombing away in this series. Now Mastriani puts one in the air, and Brandon Barnes backs on it. That's 2 outs. So the lead is gone just that quickly, and now Dozier comes up. The Twins have just been rocking the ball in this series. They hit 4 home runs Monday night, winning 10-6. 2 more last night in a 9-6 win. So 7 long balls. Presley delivering the most recent one. And now it's Brian Dozier. Dozier popped a short earlier. He looks at strike 1.
A lot of fastballs early on here this afternoon. Both pitchers. A little slider. Remember that put-away curveball that Jordan Lyles had early in the season in Seattle? Just a strikeout hook.
Yes.
There it is.
1-2.
Guys were unable to lay off that thing.
It's been a 30-pitch inning for Lyles. He threw 23 pitches in the first 2 innings. So now it's 2-2, and on a day when the starting pitchers probably feel they need to go deep in this game because of the way the bullpen has been used for both clubs in this series. Curveball missing there, and the count runs full. Lucas Harrell worked 3 innings in relief for the Astros last night. So did Josh Zide. Both are considered to be unavailable for this game. That's a strikeout looking as the curve comes in on Dozier. And it's 3 runs on 2 hits. In the middle of the 3rd inning, it's a 3-3 tie.
Minute Maid Park, and we want to remind you to tune in to Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 9:30 on CSN. Chevy Hometown Kids, where it's not about the score but the experience. Guys, I noticed a bunch of kids, maybe older kids, out behind the Astros bullpen. Hope they're enjoying their day here at Minute Maid Park. Wonder how they got off of school.
Special day off school for those kids. 1873. They were all born in 1873, Julia, and for that reason, I got out of school this afternoon.
Didn't school just start?
Yes, it did, but not for everyone.
Okay.
I wouldn't have guessed those kids to be that old. But...
No. We go to the last of the 3rd inning, and it's now a 3-3 ball game. So fresh start for Liam Hendricks. He's been battered through the first 2. Given up 4 hits, 3 runs, only one of them earned. And Brett Wallace drove in one of those runs with a double to left center field in the first inning. But now he starts at square one again. after the 3-run homer by Presley. And there's ball one for Hendricks. Mets are leading Atlanta 5-2. They're in the bottom of the ninth now. Dylan G started. It's 2-0. G gave up 1 run in 7 innings. The Braves went with Cameron Lowe today. Freddie Garcia worked in relief 2 2/3 innings. According to reports, they might be slotting him into their rotation here in September. They just picked him up from the Orioles. Strike, and that makes it 2-1 to Brett Wallace. Freddie Freeman hit his 19th home run for Atlanta. Chris Johnson is not in the lineup today. He's going for a batting title. Fly ball near the left field line. Mastriani over. Out of play for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Brett Wallace. He made quite a catch last night, and his belt was ruined in the process on that warning track in left center field. He had to exchange belts with one of the relievers for the Twins so the game could continue.
Pretty special way to make the highlight reels.
Yeah.
I think it was contrived. It was my belt. I'm telling you guys, it was my belt.
Pretty animated discussion out there in the Twins pen. There's Carter on deck. That's foul back. Let's look back at that play.
It's a heck of a catch. And he's just going to extremes when he's got to play the belt game here. Let's see whose belt it really was. That's what teammates are all about right there.
Hey, buddy, can you help me out with a belt? Wallace gets underneath it. Fly ball heads for Presley in right center field. And it's out number 1. But Chris Carter in this series coming alive at home.
Swinging it well, no doubt about it. One of those spurts where he turns it on. Nice short stroke too. It doesn't look like he's trying to do too much. Hitting it the other way, but with that same stroke, driving it up to the tracks in left field. So when you can combine kind of a nice, easy, quick stroke and pick up some hits the other way, drive it out to left, that would seem to me to be the right stroke to go with.
Broken bat and a foul ball. Strike 1 on Carter.
Chris may say I really don't change my stroke, and that may be the case. He never looks like he's over swinging.
Well, he made a statement to Julia, and you know, you've seen him hit the ball to all fields on this homestand, but not being a pull hitter.
Well, it was a while back. It's been probably a couple of months ago at Wrigley Field. He was just driving it like this the other way.
Well, that's a shot off the glove of Dozier into right field. He smacked that hard the other way. And he's had a really good series with the Twins.
When you size up that kind of swing, that's just short, easy. I think most people would say, yeah, that's the swing of a guy that's got his act together. Watch how short and easy, quick to the baseball. Barrel drops right there. Nothing long about it. Sting it like that, you'll get it by some infielders.
Hit number 5 for the Astros. Carter's aboard with 1 out. Krause drove in a run with a single to right back in the first. Ball 1 from Hendricks. Cubs lead the Marlins 3-2. They're in the top of the 4th at Wrigley Field with Jeff Samardzija on the mound. Deoner Navarro hit his 12th home run. Simon Castro, number 9. Starlin Castro, rather, number 9. And the Cubbies lead it 3-2 in the 4th. Double play depth for Florimon and Dozier. It's 2-0. Astros Lancaster Class A team in the California League has a first-round bye in the playoffs. And their first playoff game will be Saturday in Lancaster. Best of 5 series. By virtue of winning both halves of the league, they get a bye. Now it's a 3-0 count. Quad Cities will open up tonight in Quad Cities against Cedar Rapids. Best of 3 series for them. Tri-City just clinched a playoff spot last night. Tri-City's opponent is to be determined, and Greenville has already won its best of 3 series in the first round, advancing to the finals in the Appalachian League. It's a best of 3 series with Pulaski. There's a walk to Kraus. Let's see the top RBI guys in the minor leagues. George Springer has 108 combined between AA and AAA. Andrew Applin 107. And Pete Kokonos 94. They've been playing at Lancaster.
Let me see. Not necessarily high round picks turning into guys who drive in runs. Of course, a lot of the high round picks go to the pitchers, but those are some nice combinations. Keep in mind, it's a month shorter season, so you drive in 100 runs, and you have put together quite a campaign.
That's a good reminder, Ash. Brandon Barnes hit a sac fly to right field. He was behind in the count 0-2 back in the first inning. 2 men on here for Brandon with 1 out. Ho's on deck. And that's strike 1 for Hendricks. 59 pitches for Liam Hendricks. Later this afternoon, the Toronto Blue Jays play at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mark Burley, an 11-game winner, opposing Randall Delgado. Rangers and Oakland A's play in Oakland later this afternoon. Yu Darvish and Jared Parker. Dandy match up there. Barnes checked his swing on the appeal to Rob Craig, and it's 1-1. When the Astros get to Oakland, they leave tomorrow night with Brad Peacock and Sonny Gray, the pitchers. Friday night, it's Dallas Keuchel and A.J. Griffin. Saturday, a day game for Brett Overholzer and Dan Straley. And Sunday, in day action, it's Paul Clemens and Bartolo Colon. Colon will be pitching, let's see, it says tonight. He's not pitching tonight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Detroit and Boston play tonight at Fenway. Rick Porcello and Ryan Dempster to start that one. So some big games are awaiting later today and tonight for baseball fans. Barnes fouls it back. That makes it a 2-2 count. Mets game has now gone final. The Mets beat the Braves in Atlanta 5-2. Dylan G goes to 11-9 with a win, beating Cameron Lowe, and LaTroy Hawkins picked up his 7th save. Broken bat roller. Florimon charging. Florimon to first, gets Barnes. 2 outs with Carter taking third and Kraus moving into second.
Deep in the kitchen, that garbage disposal took care of that piece of wood.
Boy, it did. It did so softly, he had a chance to beat it out. So Hendricks is making some pitches. Now L.J. Hose with Pagnazzi on deck, tries to get the Astros into the lead again. Strike 1. Edgar Gonzalez, who had been sent to the 60-day disabled list, will begin a rehab assignment with Tri-City today. He's been out since May 26th with a right shoulder sprain. It's in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Game is not being televised. Back to the Twin Cities today. Look over to our right and see a darkened booth. Dick Bramer and Roy Smalley must be on their way back home.
Preceding the team charter? Must be a very important tandem there.
Yeah. 1-2.
Maybe that's why Bert Blyleven didn't come. Not playing 3 games. Not coming. Gary Templeton wouldn't have come.
What was that famous phrase of his?
Not starting, not departing for the All-Star game. He wasn't going to have any of that backup duty.
Ho strikes out, leaving 2 men on, and it's no runs, a hit. And after 3, it's tied at 3.
Three innings from Minute Maid Park. Whether you're from Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, or New Mexico, CSN Houston covers the entire 5-state region, and we want your story ideas. Email us your ideas at regionalroundup@comcastsportsnet.com.
3-3 game. We go to the 4th inning, and it's Ryan Domit taking strike 1 as Jordan Lyles eases one in there.
Turns to the changeup for the first pitch of the inning.
It's interesting.
Saw a conversation going on between pitcher and catcher, and maybe a little reevaluation of pitch selection.
VR and the overshift is right there for odd number 1. Well, had a 3-0 lead, lost it on the 3-run homer by Presley. New catcher Matt Pagnozzi just joining the club and working with Lyles. Now maybe adjusting what they had thought coming into this game, and it's Trevor Plouffe batting. That's ball 1. A lot of it comes down to fastball command, though, doesn't it, Ash?
It does. But I also believe that guys can get too fastball happy in this game. A lot of people don't believe that way. But you ask any hitter what they like to hit, and in private, if they're giving an honest answer, it's going to be fastball. Give me the fastball, baby, especially when I can look for it.
Off Lyles, it kicks over to Carter, and Carter will get to first base for out number 2. Plouffe went in head first. 1-3 play as the carom goes to Carter.
Yeah, now the question is how's Jordan Lyles holding up after this nice little assist? Where does it hit him? Right up on the outer thigh. Chris Carter had to do a little sprinting here.
Yeah, pretty close play. Rob Drake with the out call. Wallace went over to check with Lyles. He's fine to continue. Caught him on that fleshy part of the leg.
Do those who evaluate defensive abilities of players now say that Jordan Lyles covers the mound area better than most pitchers?
He's got good range. There's ball one to Osvaldo Arcia.
Most sharply hit balls like this are not handled by pitchers. This guy's good with the leather.
Who's the pitcher with the best range that you ever saw?
Mike Hampton.
Yeah.
Bar none. I know that Greg Maddux was locking up all the gold gloves at the time. That was probably still is a perpetuating award, but I thought Mike Hampton was the best I ever saw.
I have to agree with you.
Jim Cott was regarded as a great fielding pitcher. Mike Hampton was the most aggressive, land on 2 feet kind of pitcher and jump after the baseball guy I'd ever seen.
Yeah. 2-2. He was just in a great fielding position when he delivered the baseball, and he was ready to break in any direction.
He was playing third base, but doing it in front of the rubber.
Good way to describe it. Curveball works for a strikeout, and there's a 1-2-3 inning on 10 pitches for Jordan Lyles. He's back on track. He has set down 5 in a row after the homer, and it's tied at 3.
Bottom of the fourth. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Astros baseball at its high-tech best. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Astros.com for details. Okay.
Thanks, Julia. It's 3-3. Jordan Lyles has retired 5 in a row after the home run by Presley. And he took that comebacker off the right thigh. All smiles as Doug Brocail examines the damage.
That's how you show your range on the hill.
Had that leg perfectly aimed to deflect the carom over to Carter.
It's about anticipation most of the time.
Now Matt Pagnozzi 0 for 1. Comes around for the second time. He's been a good major league hitter in limited trials. Ground ball to shortstop. Florimone, and it's a 1-pitch out for Hendricks. So both these pitchers learning to survive despite giving up 3 early in the game. The Astros got 3 in the first. 1 of those earned. And then the 3-run homer by Presley for the Twins in the third tied it. And it's all about now having some fairly quick innings. Lyles certainly did in the top of the fourth. Hendricks has set down 3 in a row, and now it's Jonathan Villar. He ripped a double to left center field in the second. He's 1 for 2. Toronto Blue Jays have shut down Jose Bautista for the rest of the year with an injured hip. There's strike 1 to Villar. He will be ready for spring training next year, according to their Twitter feed. He has a femur bone bruise. Julia?
Hey, Browning, last night, Bo Porter very quick to pull rookie shortstop Jonathan Villar after he was thrown out at second, attempting to stretch a leadoff single in the third inning. Porter said as the ump called him out, he was already telling Marwin Gonzalez to get ready. He doesn't want to take from the aggression. He just wants his players to know the situation. And Jared Cozart had just struggled through 3 innings. The hitters had been told to be a little bit more patient at the plate, see more pitches, and Villar's mistake cost him a leadoff single there. Today, back at the top of the lineup, Porter saying the issue's been addressed. Everyone's moving on.
And that's the way to handle it. Message delivered. Go out and play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It was 4-1. The Astros trailing. Villar leading off with a single in the 3rd inning. And then thrown out at second base.
Well, he hasn't been any less aggressive today. He's just been a little sharper in judgment with it as he went around second base, full out, intending to go to third. That's exactly what you want. Then shut it down when you don't have the legitimate shot. That's what's been lacking at times. But he also took a bluff, maybe considering trying to steal home plate here in today's game.
Little chop goes up the line at first and foul. Still 3-2.
So for me, and it's really confirmed in the statements there by Bo Porter, you don't want to even make it feel like to VR that you're trying to cut down his aggressiveness. Just use good judgment when you go around a bag and you're considering the next bag. But go around that bag that hard and bring the rest of your teammates with you, by the way.
Foul back. He's quite a talent.
I think it's probably the biggest thing we all see about Jonathan Villar is that desire, that willingness, that competitive nature that makes him go so hard at all times.
Villar swings late, strikes out. Second strikeout for Hendricks. Make it number 3 of the day. And with 2 outs, it's Altuve batting. Altuve singled in the first. He advanced on an error to second and then scored on the Wallace double. Then into second, hit a fly ball to center field. It's a story that Adam Dunn is considering retiring this offseason, despite the fact that he's under contract for $15 million for next year.
Now, if they need somebody to step in and maybe fill that role, I probably could be persuaded.
Really?
How about you?
No, you're under contract here.
Well, you know what? Split duty. 15 mil, though. You're game for that, aren't you?
No.
No?
Too much pressure.
Tell you what, I'd let my hair fall out like Roger Maris for a year. Well, it's already doing that. That's right.
Fly ball, deep drive, left center field. Altuve, as the ball flies out to left center, is around first, headed to second. Presley throwing in, and it's a double for Altuve, his 24th. He has come alive the last few games.
That he has. Nice to see. Get that good swing when you're presented with a pitch to handle. And quite frankly, it's appeared that Liam Hendricks has presented a few pitches to handle today.
That's 9 hits in the last 4 games for Altuve. And he thumped that one to get himself into scoring position for Trevor Crowe. Crow's 0 for 2. So as the Twins try to sweep this season series, the Astros are attempting to regain the lead here. Red Wallace on deck. And it's up for ball 1. Adam Dunn says, I'm not coming back just to come back for money or because I have 1 year left on my contract. I'm not coming back to chase home run numbers or whatever. If I end up with 499 and I'm not having fun, see ya. 499 it is.
So you ask, how many home runs does he really have? 436 would be the actual figure.
Okay. 1-1.
Well, you know, he's had really an amazing career. A guy that once maybe considered being a quarterback, trying to move toward the NFL. But over 400 home runs, over 1,000 RBIs. Needs 2 more to get to 1,100. Wonderful guy.
Very engaging guy. Lives in the Houston area. Two and one.
If we play our cards right, he could be a golfing partner of both of ours this offseason.
Montgomery County's not big enough to hold him.
I want to see him hammer the golf ball around.
Foul back, and it's a 2-2 count to Trevor Crowe. And now there are 2 guys who could be in the playoffs tonight for Oklahoma City, playing for the Astros in this game. Trevor Crowe and Mark Krause. It's an interesting time of the year. Krause DHing today.
Any way for baseball to take care of these periods of time where nothing goes on the field? You see any way? I do.
Yeah.
I would just love to see baseball say, hey guys, not anymore.
Line shot into right field. The go-ahead run comes home. Altuve scores it. It's 4-3 Astros. RBI single Crowe. 6-game hitting streak Crowe.
You know, when baseball takes place, it's good stuff. But the nothing moments are tough to deal with, and that 2-out double is a nice little rally kick starter. Nice quick swing here by Trevor Crowe.
Rammed it into right field for RBI number 7 for Trevor. 6-game hitting streak, a career high for him. And the Astros are up by 1 with Brett Wallace batting. That's 7 hits for Houston, 3 for Minnesota.
Yeah, I think as a player you have to view every opportunity as an audition, and this audition for Trevor Crowe has started very well.
Wallace hits a lazy grounder. There's Dozier on over to first. It's 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left for the Astros, and through 4, Houston leads it 4-3.
This moment in history is brought to you by MD Anderson, making cancer history. September 4th, 2002, in front of 55,528 at the Coliseum. The A's set an American League record by extending their winning streak to 20 games in a row. After blowing an 11-run lead to the Royals, Scott Hatteberg hits a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning giving the Oakland A's the historic victory, 12-11. Who was the manager?
A fellow named Art Howe.
Art Howe. Manager of the year, by the way, 7 times in his managerial career. How about that?
Chris Colabello leads it off in the 5th inning.
Giving Art Howe some love, and very well-deserved love.
Yeah. Strike 2, Colabello, our colleague. Colabello singled and scored in the 3rd inning on the 3-run homer by Presley. Now it's 4-3 Houston. Yeah, Art is very, very good as a major league manager.
Did you hear me when I said a 7-time manager of the year?
I heard you say that.
Yeah? Did you actually digest it?
Well, I was trying to figure out where you were coming from with that.
I'm right here in the same spot I've been all the time for you, Brownie. But
would you explain?
7 times my former teammate was manager of the year. Of course, I had another teammate that hasn't done too bad for himself, Bruce Bochy.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Do you realize the last year that Art Howe managed the Oakland A's, they won 103 games and had a 20-game winning streak?
Yeah, that was amazing stuff. And the movie Moneyball touched on some issues with that club, but really didn't tell the story of the season.
Told a story about the skipper that was, in my opinion, completely bogus.
Well, they just didn't think the truth would have fit well in that movie script.
Let's not let the truth get in the way of a great story.
Fouled away. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes to Colabello. Jim Leland blasted a stat that devalues Max Scherzer's season. Run support.
I heard Jim going off on that, and I say good for you, Jim.
Yeah, because Scherzer had the highest run support in the majors going into last night when he lost 2-1 to Boston. He pitched well, but he's 19-2 now.
I think he should give up some of those victories then.
Struck him out. That's number 3. How about going back to that 0-2 Oakland A's season? 20 straight wins.
Banners galore, huh? There's Hatteberg with the big home run. And he's parlayed that into a broadcasting career now. Look at those guys go.
Converted catcher, moved to first. That was a big part of that Moneyball movie. Strike 1 to Herman. Herman walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Was there anything about Tim Hudson, Mark Mulder, and Barry Zito in that movie?
Not a thing.
They weren't even mentioned.
It was Billy Beane who won those games.
Broken bat, and there's out number 2. We're told the book had that information, but I didn't read that book. Did you?
Actually, I did not. I don't know. The whole genius thing is just a little too much for me, but you know, fine jobs are done.
Good to see military personnel here today with a little relaxation. Pedro Florimon hit a fly ball to left. So Jim Leland had a quote about that run support stat on Max Scherzer. He said, some people could find a flaw in Bo Derek.
And immediately I thought about Jim, how old are you?
He's old.
Because as we all know, Bo Derek is the right now hit girl, right?
Well, she starred in the 1979 film 10. 2 balls, no strikes. Not sure what her number would be these days.
All of us have our reference points, don't we?
Yeah. So Leland said of that stat, I don't believe in any of that stuff. They've averaged 5.79 runs in Scherzer starts. He says, I won't listen to any of it and have no interest in talking about it.
You heard that new band out there? Really good. Van Halen, I think they're called?
No, they must have just come along in the last month. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There was a story that you had applied to become a member of that band, by the way.
Application denied. Wouldn't that be fun? Get up on stage with a big time band and
fun for you, maybe.
Just crank it up.
Fly ball out to left center field. Barnes going back for it. He takes it in for out number 3, and that's 8 straight for Lyles, and a 4-3 Astros lead. Houston Astros baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Go big at participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax. It's a 4-3 lead for the Astros. They come up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jordan Lyles has set down 8 in a row after the 3-run game-tying homer by Alex Presley in the 3rd inning. Chris Carter's the batter. He has a walk and a single. And takes strike 1. Up the middle, Florimon lays out for it. And there's a hit for Carter, and he's been on all 3 times.
It's hit them where they ain't, Dave. That little ground ball and find a hole up the middle.
It's the 8th hit for the Astros. Here it is.
You know, right back up the middle is where you can take advantage so often. Much easier said than done, though. The Florimon has shown here in the series that he can really go get the baseball.
Sure has.
And he's smooth on the play that he's had in front.
Mark Krause drove in a 1st inning run, then he walked in the 3rd. That's ball 1 to Krause. Looking at the American League ERA leaders, Max Scherzer is not the leader. He's at 2.88. His teammate Anibal Sanchez is at 2.68. He's 12-7. Fly ball, and the left fielder Mastriani comes over. It's a foul ball. And it's 1-1. Hiroki Kuroda and Chris Sale are 2 tough luck pitchers in the American League. Kuroda's 11-10. His ERA is 3.25, and Sale's 10-12 with a 3.19.
Brownie, I've got a baseball question for you. A gentleman tweeted to me, and this is new territory, so bear with me.
Strike 1-2.
Have brothers ever been traded for each other in baseball?
Good question. Not sure about the answer.
I certainly don't know the answer. I like the DiMaggios or Sherry's or Alous.
Nothing comes to mind, but that's not to say it didn't happen.
Boy, that'd be a tough deal, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. Ryan Presley warming up. There goes Carter. Here's the throw, and it sails, and he is in there with a steal. And Carter's 2 for 2 in base stealing this year. Had a big jump.
How about that? What is the identity of this guy? Base thief or home run hitter? That is a good jump. Very nice. Really uncontested.
He's at second with a 2-2 count now. Now back. So with Presley warming up, Hendricks, the pitcher, trailing 4-3. Now he's closing in on 100 pitches. He's thrown 92.
I'm intrigued by that stolen base. Was that a straight up steal, a green light, a hit and run? I have no idea how this turns out this way.
It'll be interesting to find the answer to that, won't it?
Most stolen bases come via the green light, and I'd be surprised if Chris has one.
Fouled away.
I think a long time ago managers decided that if you give a guy that knows how to steal it back the green light, he is going to maybe have the best feel for when is the time to go, rather than a manager sitting in the dugout saying, okay, I want you to go on this pitch. Now that happens sometimes, but yeah, that green light leads to the bags.
Normally speaking, base runners like Chris Carter don't do much running at all, so it would be the general thought that he was given a suggestion to go. Now it's 3-2. Rangers won last night with Martin Perez, their young lefty, going to 9-3, beating Bartolo Colon 5-1. And they moved one game in front of Oakland in the process. A very tight race. Foul ball, and Herman comes out of there limping. So now the schedule turns more in Oakland's favor from this point on. Easier schedule for the A's than for the Rangers.
By the way, I'm told there never has been a trade of brothers for each other in Major League Baseball. However, in the NBA, Mark and Pau Gasol were once traded for each other. So, wow. Okay. Imagine if Mom was the GM. Then it really comes down to Mom always liked you best.
How many moms do you think have been GMs?
No. Going to have to research that one.
I'm going to go with 0. At least until we fully research it.
How many dads of professional sports players have been the GM of that player?
Chopped to first base. Colabello, foul ball. There have been a few, haven't there?
I was trying to think.
In fact,
can you think of examples?
Yeah, I was just reading about somebody years ago. I think it was a Dodger GM. I have to try to remember who that was. But he had a son who was a player in that organization, and right after he got the job, he traded his son.
Oh, that would be just awful. I'd probably be inclined to want to trade that son as well.
Yeah.
And just not have to deal with the pressures.
Exactly. Too much pressure if the son is in the organization. This will be the 10th pitch to Krause. And he rolls over on it, taps it foul over to Brandon Barnes in the on-deck circle.
Are you talking about way back? Or sometime semi-recent?
I think it was maybe the 50s or so, and their name is not coming to mind. A.J. Pierzynski caught his 100th game last night, and he's one of just a few to have 13 straight years with 100 games caught or more. Second baseman Dozier over to his right. Goes out to hustling Krause, but he advances Carter to third, and it's out number 1. So it's a productive out. And now Barnes will get a shot, but against a different pitcher, it would appear. Ron Gardenhire's coming out. That's 98 pitches for Hendricks, and he's had a right-hander warming up in the pen. That'll be it for Liam Hendricks today. Ryan Presley will be coming in with the score: Houston 4, Minnesota 3.
The 5th here at Minute Maid Park. Backed by popular demand, Dollar Dog Night returns Friday, September 13th. Enjoy $1 hot dogs all game long, presented by HEB. First pitch against the Angels is at 7:10. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com for tickets. Okay.
Some dog munching going on right now here at Minute Maid Park, Julia. Thank you. As they watch a 4-3 ball game, they have seen the young right-hander Ryan Presley come in from the bullpen. In 41 games, he's 3-3. His ERA 3.70. He's a native of Dallas.
.248 that overall batting average against. Fairly well balanced out. Right-hand hitters having a little tougher time. And just 3 home runs allowed. That's a very good figure with the number of innings.
Infield is in for Brandon Barnes, who delivered a sac fly in the first inning and grounded out in the third. Barnes hits it foul. Strike 1 to Brandon. Those catchers who have caught 100 games or more for 13 straight seasons are A.J. Przinsky, Bill Dickey, Johnny Bench, and Brad Ausmus.
Wow, that's impressive, and especially I say that for Brad Ausmus. For Johnny Bench, kind of a given for me.
Yeah.
I would have thought Gary Carter might be on that list.
That's true, too. That's a line shot into center field, and Barnes drives in another. It's 5-3, his second RBI of this game, 38th of the season, after driving in 5 last night.
Stinging it, too. Nice to see for Brandon Barnes. You know, a season tells you the overall story on how well a guy can swing the bat. And the season still has a good part to play here for Brandon, but he's helping himself. And some of the home runs he's hit this year, like the one opposite field last night, like one he hit early in the year up on the railroad tracks in left field, show that he's got some genuine pop.
L.J. Ho's on a hit and run, swings and misses. The throw is there early, and Barnes is tagged out by Florimon. Ho's unable to make contact, and that's what makes the play for the Twins. Herman throwing him out for out number 2.
Nice quick move to the plate that sets it up. Despite not getting rid of the ball overly quickly, Herman gets him easily.
Barnes, though, now has driven in 7 runs in his last 6 plate appearances. That's a strike coming into Ho's for an 0-2 count. The Astros now are 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position in this series, in this game rather. And that was after a long stretch, 0 for 22 with runners in scoring position. That's going to go foul. And Pagnozzi's on deck. Two-run lead for the Astros. They've out-hit the Twins 9-3. Presley has not pitched in a while. August 29th against Kansas City. 3 scoreless innings in that relief appearance. So he's a fresh arm in the bullpen. Chopped slowly. Kloof cuts across and makes the play. And in the 5th inning, the Astros had a run on 2 hits. After 5, they're up 5-3.
Astros Trivia is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Who are the 3 members of the 500 home run club who also pitched in the major leagues? Oh, there's one. That's a pretty obvious and easy one.
3 guys pitched and hit 500 homers. You know Babe Ruth. The others might be elusive.
Can't even begin to imagine.
Amazing. That's a good question.
Babe is the obvious. How many members of that crowd there watching that home run by the Babe were wearing hats?
Alex Presley showing bunt, takes ball 1. He is 2 for 2 in this game. A 3-run homer in the 3rd tied the game, but since then Lyles has retired 8 in a row. And throwing ball 1 there. Now has a 2-run lead with Wallison tied at 3rd. And it's 2 balls, no strikes for Lyles. Lyles is at 82 pitches. Hendricks wound up with 98 pitches. That's a strike, and that makes it 2-1.
Fastball all the way down to 90 miles an hour for Jordan. And that pitch was right through the heart of the dish.
It's a liner to left field. Trevor Crowe waiting. Here's a stat for you. It may be meaningless. In day games this year, Jordan Lyles is 1-4 with a 7.68 ERA. In 8 games, 7 as a starter. Aaron Mastriani, the batter, he's 0 for 2.
Yeah, how much stock do you put in stats like that? I've never been able to determine if it means anything to me.
Some, because you know, some people are night game people, some people are day game people.
You talking about body clock type stuff?
Yeah. Strike to Mastriani. So just wondering if the velocity's down a little bit, if it's just a body cycle. It's tough to get it cranked for a day game. What do you think?
Well, you're talking about 8 starts. Yeah. Well, actually 8 games, 7 starts. And I wonder if you went back, and I don't know how to dissect that, the starts that took place on day games. Did he have 1 or 2 really bad ones that skewed those numbers in that direction?
Oh, sure. Check swing call.
And might he say, you know, it was just a bad day. I felt fine, or I was sick that day, or how that might turn things. But in 7 starts, 38 innings, you could really skew those numbers.
You're right. Grounded to Wallace. Goes across to Carter, 2 outs. That's 10 straight set down by Lyles.
Starting to roll right now, but in terms of just watching the stuff, I wouldn't call this one of the electric days for Jordan Lyles.
Mm-hmm.
And he can have those days.
Dozier's 0 for 2 with a pop to short and a strikeout looking. Well, let's just say you had 3 or 4 years of data, and a pitcher had nowhere near the day game performance as the night game performance. How could that be addressed?
I don't know. Somebody would probably come up with a response to that. Okay, here's what we want you to do.
I want you to go to bed at 9 p.m. and get up at 5 a.m. and change your body clock.
and then you get all messed up for the night games.
Yeah, exactly.
You were Cy Young material for the night games previously, and now you can't get anybody out.
Exactly. 2-1.
But you get that occasional day game, and you are lights out.
In the air, and the catcher is underneath it, Pagnozzi. Fair ball. And there's another 1-2-3 inning. Well, no problem this day game, not through the middle stages of it. 5-3 Houston.
Astros season tickets are on sale now. Lock in your seats by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Matt Pagnozzi is coming up here for the Astros. He's the new guy in the clubhouse, but there are some familiar faces here with this Astros club. People he's played against, like Trevor Crowe and Cody Clark. Their families are actually really good friends going back a few years. Pagnozzi's uncle is former Cardinals catcher Tom Pagnozzi and started his baseball career at a junior college, but he was recruited by Cody Clark's dad, who was the hitting coach for Arkansas, to play for the Razorbacks. Pagnozzi lives in Fayetteville now. So baseball world, it all circles around, guys.
Yeah, many connections. That's interesting stuff. Thanks, Julia. Pagnazzi with strike one. Now it's 0-2. He is 0 for 2 in this game. But he's working well with Lyles, and they have gotten 11 straight outs. Eric Bedard is warming up in the Astros bullpen right now. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Matt Pagnazzi, who's played parts of 4 seasons in the majors with St. Louis, Colorado, Pittsburgh, and of course Houston this year. At AAA Gwinnett this year, he hit .210, 6 homers, 31 runs batted in 90 games. He threw very well. He threw out 33%, trying to steal. That was second in the International League in caught stealing percentage for catchers. Little roller. Herman will spin and throw and get him. Good play by Herman for out number 1.
Nice. That was very athletic looking. Herman gets on this ball, and as he comes up with it, like a quarterback setting up to throw one 30 yards downfield, just got himself in a great position. Watch Herman come out, get on this baseball, and then set himself right there. Just beautiful.
Presley in relief of Hendricks gets out number 1. Now faces Jonathan VR, who's 1 for 3. Strike 1 to VR. VR showing bunt, takes that breaking ball down and in, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Jonathan. Liam Hendricks in 4 1/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, walking 2, fanning 3. He threw 98 pitches, 66 were strikes. VR moves back from it. It's 2-1 to the 22-year-old shortstop from La Vega in the Dominican Republic. Phillies signed him as a free agent in 08, traded him to Houston along with Jay Happ and Anthony Gose for Roy Oswalt in July of 2010. And then Gose was flipped on to Toronto for Brett Wallace. 2-2. Jordan Lyles has thrown 92 pitches, 56 have been strikes. He's retired the last 11. Presley might be in this game for a while to save the other guys in the pen for Ron Gardenhire. Tapped up the line.
Presley has some sharp looking breaking stuff.
Presley's been a long man for the Twins. He's gone 3 innings or more in 6 different outings. Last 3 times he's gone 3 innings in relief, he's given up no runs. He gets a strikeout. In the American League, that becomes more important, not having to pinch hit for the pitcher. Toyota had trivia for us. 3 members of the 500 Club who also pitched. We only could think of Babe Ruth. Then we dropped it. See who the other 2 were.
I had no idea. Jimmy Fox is one, and you're not going to believe this. Ted Williams.
Didn't know that.
Jimmy Fox in 39 and 45. Ted Williams in 1940. Fox pitched in 9 games with the Phillies in 1945. Ted Williams 2 innings in 1940 when he was 22 years old. Now I wonder, was that just one of those blowout type situations? Hey Ted, how's your arm today? Get out there on the hill. I don't know.
Probably. What did they have then? About 8-man pitching staffs?
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah, you didn't have the specialists in the bullpen. Who's the setup guy today, Skip? Sorry about that, Bronny.
That's all right. Plouffe makes the play. And we move to inning number 7. It is 5-3 Houston.
On top, Faith and Family Night is back Saturday, September 14th. The Astros take on Mike Trout and the LA Angels of Anaheim, or whatever they're called at that time, followed by an inspiring post-game concert featuring David Crowder. Your game ticket is also your ticket to the concert. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com for your tickets.
That little fellow we saw a moment ago doesn't need any concert. Ryan Domit takes ball one.
Does he make his own music?
Yeah, somebody has made some music that's put him fast asleep. Domit took ball one. He's grounded out twice to shortstop. That's a line drive hit to center field by Domit. Well, the shift was on, but he got a clean hit, and that ends the string of 11 straight outs for Jordan Lyles. That's hit number 4 for the Twins. Trevor Plouffe will follow. He's looking down at his third base coach for signs. Plouffe has popped to second and grounded back to Jordan Lyles. Eric Bedard has been working for a while in the bullpen. Lyles delivers ball one. Lyles into bonus time now at 95 pitches in this game. Last time out he had a quality start, but he lost 3-2. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Once again, 6 innings, 3 runs to this point, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Jordan trying to square his record at 5-5 at home. He brought an ERA at home of 6.21 into this game. Foul ball makes it 1-2. It's been really strange to look at the Astros' home performance this year. They have had no home field advantage whatsoever. Have played actually better on the road than they have at home. There's no particular explanation for it at this point. They're 22-49 in this ballpark. The fewest home victories they've had in their history, 31 in 2011. They're going to have to go some to win more than that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This would be game number 72 at home. They will only have 9 remaining. So they would have to win almost all of them to do better than they did in 2011 at home. And it's been weird. That's a strikeout looking, and it's out number 1. That's number 4 of the day for Jordan Lyles. Yeah, individual players performing much better on the road than at home.
Bit of a delayed call right here, and maybe a break off the outside edge as Jordan Lyles benefits.
Now Arcia, he is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out looking. The Oklahoma City Redhawks are getting ready for their ball game tonight. They'll send Asher Wojciechowski out against the Omaha Storm Chasers at the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City. 7:05 game time tonight. Ball 1 to Arcia. That's pitch number 100 for Lyles, and 60 have been strikes. 14,869 the attendance. It's 2-0. Omaha won the American Northern Division of the PCL. Oklahoma City, the American Southern Division. Foul back. 2 balls and a strike. So we look at Asher Wojciechowski starting tonight. He's been at AA, but he's at AAA now, acquired in the J-Happ trade from Toronto. Mike Fultonevich, drafted by the Astros, a 19th overall pick in 2010, 5-3 at Corpus. He started the season actually at Class A Lancaster. He's been bumped up very successfully. Inside, 3-1. You guys will be going on the road here this afternoon with a theme trip for Bo Porter. Football jersey trip.
So I hear.
Do you have a football jersey to wear?
Do not.
Well, we've seen some rather smart looking jerseys hanging around the ballpark.
Maybe I can get you to paint a number and a team name on my back here.
You could be J.J. Watt. Jake Elmore.
Oh, that's a form-fitting uniform. Joe Namath is in town.
Namath.
Yeah.
And in Austin for LJ Hose. Yeah, he caught it for wearing a Cowboys jersey. That's Matt Dominguez's T-shirt. And there's a J.J. Watt.
Imagine there's going to be a few of those today.
You know that. Hit by the pitch, Arcia. So now 2 men on and 1 out. And Colabello is coming up in this 5-3 game. Bo Porter calling time. He has had Eric Bedard warming up for quite some time. And he's going to go to the lefty. Steve Sparks has a San Diego Chargers jersey over in his radio booth. LaDainian Tomlinson. Very smart looking Charger.
I thought he might be a Lance Allworth, something like that, going way back.
Yeah. John Hadel. Nice day of it for Jordan Lyles. His pitching line will look quite a bit different depending on whether these inherited runners score. He leaves with 2 men on, and he has, as Steve Sparks has witnessed with that Tomlinson jersey, built a 5-3 lead. Built a 3-0 lead after 1. It was tied on a 3-run homer by Alex Presley in the 3rd. The Astros getting single runs in the 4th and 5th, and now Jordan Lyles leaves the game after 6 in the 3rd. And Eric Bedard takes over with runners at 1st and 2nd and 1 out. He's 3-10. His ERA 4.56, and it's Chris Colabello, the first man up.
Little advantage on the right-hand hitters for Eric Bedard, 257 versus 288, 16 dingers. Certainly an area you don't want to see increased right here.
He worked 2 scoreless innings in relief Saturday against Seattle, one of his former clubs, and delivers ball 1 there to Colabello. Colabello singled and scored in the 3rd. He struck out in the 5th. Bedard, who's been in the rotation much of the year, now back in relief where he opened the season and got a save here in the season opener. The Astros win over Texas 8-2. He went 3 1/3 innings, did not give up a run. This is his 5th relief appearance. 2-0. Colabello takes 1 in tight. Now it's 3 balls, no strikes. Bo Porter last night used Lucas Harrell for 3 innings. He pitched scoreless ball. Josh Zide 3 innings of scoreless ball. Jorge De Leon worked 1. Kevin Chapman worked 1. Josh Fields worked 2 innings Monday night. Now that's a walk to load the bases. On 4 pitches, Colabello reaches, and Herman will be the batter.
Well, he gets to face the left-hander here and the catcher, and if somehow he can induce a ground ball, which he doesn't get a whole lot of, 0.64 ratio ground balls to fly balls this year, so not the likelihood, but that ground ball could be big in getting a double play.
Herman's 1 for 3 with the bases loaded and hit a grand slam. He walked and scored in the third. He grounded out in the fifth inning. And there's strike one to Herman.
After 4 straight balls, maybe a bit surprising that you get the swing right away from Herman.
Yeah. Herman has hit .200 against lefties with 1 homer, 3 runs batted in only 20 at bats. Not a very large sampling. He looks at a strike and quickly falls behind 0-2 to Bedard. Domitz at third with Arcia at second and Colabello at first. Ground ball and Altuve gets it on to Villar. Villar over to Carter. Double play. 4-6-3. That ends the top of the 7th with no runs a hit. 2 men left. The Astros get a huge double play ball and remain in front 5-3.
First.
All right. Well, I'll go first, and then you can trail. And we'll tell everybody that the Astros are making their final trip to the Oakland, what is it, the O.Co Coliseum.
That is it.
In hopes of spoiling the A's playoff chances. Game 1 starts tomorrow night at 8:30 with Astros pregame live only on Comcast Sportsnet.
And now it's my turn. Let's take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchups. Brought to you by Chevron. Care for your car. Brad Peacock goes to the hill for the Astros in Game 1 against the Oakland A's. 3-5, 598 their earning. And since his recall to the club, he's pitched much better. 2-2, 394. Sonny Gray really pitched well against the Astros not too long ago, just a couple of weeks. 2-2, 257 the ERA. It was August 15th when he pitched so well in defeating Houston.
Boy, he did 8 innings of 4-hit shutout ball. Walking 1, fanning 9. Got his first win. Eric Bedard has done well here in relief, and Brad Peacock takes it all in. As the Astros come up in the home 7th inning, Bedard got that double play ball on Herman. And Jordan Lyles exits. As Trevor Crowe comes up, he is 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 4th. Crowe scored a run in the 1st. The Astros have out-hit the Twins 9-4. He misses a bunt try, and there's strike 1. For Lyles, it's 6 1/3 innings today. 4 hits, 3 runs allowed. 1 walk, 1 hit batter, and 3 strikeouts. Let's make it 4 strikeouts. He threw 105 pitches. Wallace is going to follow, and then Carter's due up third in the inning. the ball, and a 1-1 count. Glenn Perkins, the closer for the Twins, is warming up. Major League Baseball has released the postseason schedule. The wild card games will be October 2nd. 1-2. The National League Divisional Series will begin the next day, October 3rd. The American League Divisional Series begins October 4th. It'll be here quickly, Ash.
I like the seasons that begin early in April or even late March and then finish up in the month of September. It sets up a little bit of an earlier postseason that I think is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it looks as if those first series after the one-game wildcard playoffs, they go 5 games, they would be finished October 10th.
I like when Reggie Jackson had a chance to be Mr. October and there was no need to call him Mr. November.
Yeah. That's a strikeout. That's number 2 for Presley. What a play last night in foul territory by the A's Josh Donaldson.
I know you got a chance to see this, but the tarp gets in between Donaldson and the baseball. You think that'll stop him? Not a chance. What a great play this is. That is full out effort, and obviously comes at a big time for the Oakland A's.
Just magnificent. One of the best plays of the year. Brett Wallace is the batter. He doubled in a run in the first. He's 1 for 3. And the Pirates got a big game-winning pinch homer in the 9th inning. Travis Snyder. So we're seeing some important stuff here in the month of September. The Pirates with the 2-game lead on St. Louis now in the NL Central. Things getting very exciting around Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Pirates no longer have that noose around their neck. The losing seasons, 20 of them have come to a skidding halt.
Yes, they have. The League Championship Series will begin on October 11th in the National League, October 12th in the American League. So they could extend as far as October 20th, with the World Series starting October 23rd in the American League Park.
So what's the latest possible World Series game?
October 31st, Game 7.
So no Mr. November at all this year.
Nope. Divisional round will follow a 2-2-1 format. The NLCS will follow a 2-3-2 format. Ground ball hit into center field for Wallace. Brett Wallace is 2 for 4. Let's see who's going to go. What's your pick, Boston?
Well, I think I'll go with the Red Sox right about now. The
Okay.
Tigers have been a given, it seems, for quite some while. Texas and Oakland. I don't know. Based on last year, you'd be a fool not to pick the Oakland A's, but just when you try to count a club out is when you'll get burned by them. See Tampa Bay Rays and Ash in his pick.
Ooh. Chris Carter's the batter. He's been on all 3 times, a walk and 2 singles. He has stolen a base and scored a run. There's ball 1. So Carter has really improved his on-base average with a day like this. I would say we've seen more of that the last 4 or 5 weeks. Chris hitting the ball more to right field than he had been. Don't know if you would agree with that. That may not be true, but that's just the way it seems.
Yeah, it's come in spurts. And when he does it, when he's utilizing the whole field, he really looks good at the plate. There have been times when, like anybody who's played the game, you can get pretty lost. And when Chris gets lost, a lot of strikeouts pile up.
Reno. Max Stassi is on the disabled list, and they're having some fun with him.
Can you actually be unaware that that's going on?
It seems to be quite possible.
The sheer weight of that styrofoam ought to tell you something's going on.
Yeah. 3 balls and a strike.
Let's see if he spots it now.
Let's see. Nope, didn't see it. Nope. Still doesn't know.
Well-placed cup.
Dominguez cannot see the field, though, from behind him. Broken bat liner, and it's caught by Plouffe. The barrel of the bat wound up on the outfield grass. 2 outs. Plouffe maintained his concentration.
Here comes ball and bat. It can be a little bit of a disconcerting play. If you put too much focus on the bat, you're going to miss the baseball. Always said Marty Feldman is the guy that could make that play best.
Mark Krause is the batter. Max Stassi, all concentration there, watching Krause.
That intense ability to focus on 2 objects at once.
Yeah. Krause looks at ball 1. Krause has an RBI single and a walk. Well, the employees of Bright Sky Press have come out for a company outing today. Bring the Astros luck. They're enjoying the ball game. Ripped on the ground, but caught by Colabello. And it's out number 3. We go to the 8th inning. It's 5-3 Astros.
Clean up aisle 7. Clean up aisle.
But first of all, we check the Max Stassi report. See if he has. Yep, sure enough. Yeah, they got him.
How long have I had that on my head?
Yeah, about 7 innings.
All the obvious questions start to swirl through your head.
Eric Bedard throwing ball 1 to Pedro Florimon. Florimon leads off the 8th inning. He's 0 for 2. Bedard brings that one in at 72 miles per hour for a strike.
Of course, then you tell yourself as a player, never going to let this happen again. The next 72 times you take your hat off, you don't find anything there. But that 73rd time, it'll get you.
2 balls and a strike. Ivan Nova of the Yankees has been voted the American League Pitcher of the Month for August. It's hit hard to left field. Crow out of room, looking up. It's off the wall. It's at his feet. He throws into second base. Altuve with a tag, safe. A double for Florimon, leading off the 8th.
Nice job by Trevor Crow. Just a little moment where he tried to pick the baseball up, couldn't get it. Might have cost on the play, but a good one-hop throw into the bag. Bedard probably fortunate this ball only hits wall instead of going out. Yeah, that's really giving Altuve the best of opportunities.
That's hit number 5 for Minnesota, and the potential tying run comes up. Presley, who ripped a homer in the 3rd to tie it at 3. Also has a single in this game. That's strike one to Presley. Nobody working in the Astros bullpen right now. Mastriani on deck. Slow bouncer out to Altuve. And Presley is out. Florimon to third, one down. Now Mastriani, he's 0 for 3. Jordan Lyles retired 11 in a row after the Presley homer in the third. Then Domet singled in the 7th inning, and after a hit batter, double play ball really cleaned things up for Eric Bedard with the bases loaded. He walked the first man he faced, Colabello.
Golden opportunity for an RBI for any hitter in this scenario. I'm not sure why you want to turn and bunt here when nothing's on in terms of a squeeze, but a ground ball other than to the corner infielder, fly ball, pick up a run.
Not sure about the thinking on a bunt there. Drag makes it 1-1. Francisco Liriano will pitch for the Pirates tonight at Milwaukee. They're trying for their first sweep in Milwaukee since early in the 2004 season. Foul back. Liriano has been a 15-game winner for them. Tremendous acquisition by Neil Huntington, the general manager. Yankees are 2.5 back in the wild card race right now. Baltimore trails by 3. Cleveland 3.5. Cleveland club held on to win a tight one over Baltimore last night. Something like 95% of the time, teams with leads of 3 games or more on Labor Day have gone on to secure their divisions or the wild card race, one or the other.
What was the Texas Rangers lead on Labor Day a year ago?
Can't remember exactly. There you see the current wild card picture, though. The Yankees are right in the thick of it, Ash.
They've been playing good baseball. Is it fair to have Alex Rodriguez in there and helping the cause? And he has been helping. Sure, you could get a lot of negatives on that response.
Runner coming home. VR throwing to first, and the stretch by Carter takes care of out number 2. It's now 5-4 game. Mastriani getting the RBI, his 5th of the year on the ground out. And now a 1-run lead for the Astros with Dozier coming up. Dozier's 0 for 3. Twins have been winning close games. They are 21-20 in 1-run games. The Astros 16-28. There's a strike to Dozier. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Eric Bedard. That's strike 2. Bedard, the 34-year-old veteran, was with Pittsburgh last year. Moved along through free agency. Bounces that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Eric. Astros have Barnes, Hose, and Pagnazzi due up in the last of the 8th inning. Out to shortstop. VR plays it on a bounce and throws to Carter. And it's 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. Bottom of the 8th coming, 5-4 Astros.
Twins, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Friday, September 13th is the next big and bright Friday night. Don't forget to stick around after the Astros-Angels game for the best fireworks show in town, presented by Marathon Oil, featuring music from the hit TV show Glee. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com for your tickets.
Bottom of the 8th inning, it's 5-4 Houston. Brandon Barnes leads it off. He's driven in 2 today. He looks at ball 1. He has a single and a sac fly in this game. He'll take a 5-game hitting streak on to Oakland for tomorrow night. The Astros have doubled the Twins hit total, 10-5. Ryan Presley has worked well in relief. He falls behind 2-0. Liam Hendricks, the starter, went 4 1/3, giving up 8 hits and 5 runs, 3 of them earned. Presley came in the 5th inning. He's upstairs there and falls behind 3-0. Twins have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up in the 9th inning. Gomez, Plouffe, and Arcia. Nobody warming up in the Astros bullpen. Looks like Eric Bedard goes for the save. 3-1. Dodgers and Rockies play tonight in Colorado. Edinson Volquez goes for Los Angeles against Jorge De La Rosa, a 15-game winner. Grounded to third on 2 hops. Trevor Plouffe takes care of out number 1 for Presley. LJ Hose is 0 for 3. Trying to get things turned around for this road trip that starts tomorrow night. LJ's hit 200 for the homestand coming into this game today. Tampa Bay Rays are playing the Angels tonight on the road. Hellickson versus Weaver. That's ball 1. Kansas City has a home game against Seattle tonight for Irvin Santana against Taijuan Walker. Got his first major league win here. In tight, and that spins him around and makes the count 2-0.
I think we liked what we saw from Walker.
He looked pretty dynamic. That's to right field. Arcia over toward the line for out number 2. And Pagnazzi will be next. He's 0 for 3. Cardinals are at Cincinnati tonight. In a big matchup, Shelby Miller, a 12-game winner, going against Bronson Arroyo. He's 13-10. The Reds can tighten it even more if they win. They're 3.5 back of Pittsburgh. They're 1.5 back of St. Louis. Pagnozzi's hit the ball on the ground all 3 times. There's strike 1 to Matt. Yankees are home against the White Sox. They'll have 12-game winner CC Sabathia on the hill this evening. In tight for a ball. 1-1 to Matt Pagnozzi. Went to Central Arizona College, an 8th-round pick of the Cardinals in 03. In the dirt, Jeff Luhnow was the Cardinals' VP of baseball development when Pagnozzi was drafted. 2 balls, 1 strike. Blue Jays are leading 3-2 at Arizona. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rajay Davis hit his 4th home run. Mark Burley on the mound. In the air, and shortstop is calling for it. Florimon. To end the 1-2-3 8th. We move to the 9th, and it's 5-4 Astros.
Astros on top. So many topics, so many special guests. Kevin Eschenfelder has the sporting world covered on Sports Talk Live weekdays at 5 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet. Astros skipper Bo Porter has been asked a lot recently about the importance of September. He's been stressing how far this club has come over the course of the year. A lot of teaching moments over the season, and he said it again this morning. He firmly believes that this club is learning how to win. Guys, we've seen the fight, many late inning rallies for this team, and Bo saying that as long as they're on his watch, they'll continue to play hard and the right way.
And it comes down to Eric Bedard here in the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. He just threw strike 1 to Ryan Domit. Domit's 1 for 3. Curveball works for a strike, and it's 0-2 for Bedard, shooting for his 2nd save. He had not even pitched in relief since the 04 season when he came out opening night after Bud Norris started. He went 3 1/3 and got his first save. That's to left field. Throw backing, looking up, and this one is in the seats, and the Minnesota Twins have tied it 5-5 here in the 9th. On an 0-2 pitch, Ryan Domit hits his 12th home run, and it's a brand new ball game.
High fastball, probably up out of the strike zone. Well, everybody enjoyed extras so much yesterday. Maybe a chance to go back after it. Right there about the top of any conceivable strike zone. But I don't know that that's your ideal 0-2 pitch.
That's the Twins' 8th home run of the series, and now this one heads for right field. AT HOU's catching the drive by Trevor Plouffe. 1 out.
And most hitters would tell you they don't mind seeing that pitch on an 0-2.
Astros relievers have surrendered 78 home runs this year. Ryan Dunsing warming up for the Twins. That's the 26th blown save for Houston. Oswaldo Arce is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. Pitch that hit him would have been ball 4. And it's a strike. In Oakland, it's 3-2. The Athletics are leading the Rangers in the bottom of the 4th inning. Behind Jared Parker, Yu Darvish is his opponent. Altuve to his right. Over to Carter, 2 outs. And now, knowing that there is a home 9th inning, the Astros will have Villar, Altuve, and Crow due up. Chris Colabello is 1 for 2 with a walk. Singled and scored on the 3-run Presley homer in the 3rd. Oakland got a home run from Brandon Moss, his 26th of the year. He hit one off Darvish. 10 hits for the Astros, 6 hits and 1 error for the Twins today. The Twins have stranded 2. The Astros have left 7. Grounder goes foul. Joe Vavra comes up with it. Strike to Colabello. Liam Hendricks is off the hook as the Twins have tied it here 5-5. Jordan Lyles, on the other hand, cannot be a winning pitcher today. It's a 1-1 count. Bedard missing with that opportunity, takes the count to 2-1. Bedard had a 3.48 ERA in relief when he came out for this game. Missing there, he falls behind 3-1. Dunsing has been joined by Glenn Perkins. 2 lefties warming up for Ron Gardenhire now. So if they get a lead, it's Perkins. If they don't, it's Dunsing. And there's a walk to Colabello with 2 outs. Third walk for Astros pitching. And now Herman's due up, but he bats left. And it's going to be Josniel Pinto pinch hitting for him. He's been quite impressive. Last night he started and he got 4 hits and a walk, scored 2 runs. Had excellent numbers at AAA Rochester this year. Started a game at Texas before the Twins came to Houston. He looks very good. That was his major league debut when he caught September 1st at Texas. He had 2 hits in that game. So as a result, he is 6 for 9 with 1 RBI as a major leaguer. This is his 3rd major league game. At Rochester, he hit .308, had 23 doubles, 14 homers, 68 runs batted in. There's strike 1. He walked 64 times and had 71 strikeouts in 107 games. That's quite a year for Pinto. Without Joe Mauer, the Twins look at some young catchers. Pinto out in front of that one. He's 23. He's from Valencia, Venezuela. No balls, 2 strikes to Pinto. Herman was 0 for 2 with a walk and scored a run. In the dirt, it's 1-2. Pagnozzi's done well behind the plate today. The Astros walked 7 last night in their 9-6 loss. They walked 9 Monday night in their 10-6 loss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pirates have activated their all-star closer Jason Grilli from the disabled list. Into left field. A single by Pinto, and he continues to rip as a major leaguer. How many guys have started their big league careers 7 for 10?
How many veterans right now want to say, kid, it's not that easy?
Yeah.
Or is it?
We'll get a pinch runner at second base for Colabello. Doug Bernier will be the pinch runner. Representing the potential go-ahead run with Pedro Florimon, the batter. Florimon doubled and scored in the 8th. Each 1 for 3. Sounds as if Grilli will not automatically go into the closer's spot for the Pirates. In tight for ball 1.
Well, if that's the case, somebody's been having some success there, because Grilli was locked down tight early on.
Mark Melanson's been saving some games recently for them.
He's been good, no question.
It's fouled away. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Melanson has 11 saves and 13 opportunities this year. His whip is 0.85.
His ERA is .87.
How about that?
So yeah, he's had a bit of success.
What a year. 62 1/3 innings, 8 walks, 60 strikeouts. Inside for a ball. That makes it 2-1.
8 walks combined with 45 hits in those 62+ innings. So the whip, did you mention that? I think you did.
Yes.
.85. That's rather insane.
Slightly insane, isn't it? It's now 3-1 to Florimon. And Bedard in a 5-5 game misses there.
Backdoor breaking ball effort, just stays away. Of course, if you look through that bullpen of the Pirates, they've got a few guys, key guys, Grilli, Watson, and Melanson, all with whips under the 1 mark, and a big reason why they've been so good.
Foul back, and now it's 3-2. The runners will be going. Here's what happened last night when Travis Snyder hit the pinch 9th inning homer.
I thought once upon a time this kid, Travis Snyder, was going to be a future MVP type player. Hasn't worked out for him, but sure came through with a big swing there, and Mark Melanson just destroying some hitters. He's a nasty over-the-top yacker.
Runners go on this 3-2. And it's a swing and a miss. In the 9th inning, Domit's home run ties it, and it's 5-5. Bottom of the 9th coming. by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Back at Minute Maid Park, where it's a 5-5 tie, our Dunkin' Donuts high energy play of the day. We can look at Jonathan VR. Makes a nice adjustment on the throw. He completes the double play. A little more D going wide to his right with the shift on. That's a very nice play by Jonathan VR. And then the bat came into play as well, driving one to left center field. He had thoughts of 3 on his mind, shut it down, then tags up on a fly ball, moves into third base. And then at this point, what do you want to do? Shall we steal home? He thought about it for a moment and then able to make a wiser decision, but it's been Jonathan VR all over the place.
Doug Bernier stays in to play third base after pinch running for Colabello, and Trevor Plouffe has moved across the diamond from third to first base. We also have a new pitcher. Here's lefty Brian Dunsing coming in with the game tied 5-5 for the bottom of the 9th inning. In 62 games, Dunsing is 6-1. His ERA is 3.59.
Left-hand hitters have had a bit of a good time, hitting .296, just 2 home runs allowed in 52 innings. What is it with a couple of these guys with the Twins just not giving up the long ball?
Jonathan VR shows butt and takes a strike. That's a good question. Well, their ballpark is spacious, so that helps on the home games. Dunsing's from Maryville, Kansas, University of Nebraska background. And there's a ball to even the count at 1-1. Opponents are hitting only .156 against him in his last 13 appearances, covering 13 innings. Pitched 55 times last year for the Twins. VR out into right center field. Lands one in for a hit. He will take the turn and hold on as it's well played by the right fielder. That's hit number 2 by VR.
You love the leadoff double, but a leadoff just simply getting on base for Jonathan VR, and now that running game can come into play. Obviously a great way to get things started. His bat has come to life considerably. Right side of the plate. Early on, didn't show a whole lot, but he was swinging it much better.
Now it's Jose Altuve, third baseman, creeping in, looking for a bunt, and the throw goes over to first. That's Bernier moving in at third. Altuve has 2 hits and 4 at bats, 2 sacrifice bunts this season. He's been swinging the bat well. Trevor Crowe is on deck. So here's the Bull Porter decision whether to have Altuve sacrifice or swing away. Sacrificing, he puts it down, and the pitcher Dunsing will throw to first, with VR taking second, 1 out. And that's the way most managers would play it.
Stay tuned for Postgame Live, presented by MD Anderson, making cancer history. I wonder, with the speed and abilities of VR aboard at first base, if it might have been worth taking a look at a pitch, seeing if you could size up the possibility of employing that running game.
One thought.
Where you don't give up an out, but now you count on somebody being able to come through with a base hit.
Bull Porter's club has won 9 times in its final at bat and lost 13 times in its opponent's final at bat. Trevor Crowe will be the batter. He's 1 for 4, an RBI single in the 4th.
If I were the Minnesota Twins, I would not be done thinking about Jonathan VR.
This would be an ideal time to steal third base. Does not have a huge lead. That's strike 1 to Crowe. Dunsing has been throwing the ball so well lately, who won both games of a split doubleheader August 9th against the White Sox on the road. Works in a tie game. He worked 1/3 of an inning last night. Did not give up a hit, had a walk. He walked Marwin Gonzalez. That's a line shot left field. Here comes VR. And in the bottom of the 9th, the Astros get a walk-off win provided by Trevor Crowe.
mob scene. Yeah, that's great stuff. Coming through with those clutch hits has been a difficult task for the ball club all year long. But this is a nice way to close out this homestand.
A happy moment. Win number 46 of the year comes in the final at bat. And it's Trevor Crow, who just returned from AAA Oklahoma City. And he truly is making the most of his September playing time. He gets his second hit, second run batted in of the day. And it's 6-5 Houston in the bottom of the ninth.